Hey there, I just wanted to hop on and do a little tutorial and some tips on this mural that we posted the other day, and then I'm posting the time lapse today, and just kind of go through the process of how I did this mural. So first thing is I found an inspiration photo, which I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna pause and I'm gonna show you that right now. Okay, so you're probably thinking, yeah, that doesn't look anything like the final mural. And you're right, which leads me to my point of don't get discouraged if you're working on a project, whether it is a painting or some other project, and it doesn't turn exactly like your inspiration. Your inspiration is just supposed to inspire you, and that's exactly what it did for me on this project. I was inspired by the brush strokes. I looked at the colors, and that's kind of how I got to where I am here. So I looked at that and I liked the brush strokes. I liked the colors, which leads me to colors. I'm going to show you this rug. So this is my girls' room, and this is their rug. So I went to Lowe's and got a bunch of Sherwin-Williams paint swatches, like a bunch. And then I just spread them out on this rug and kind of figured out which ones I liked the best. So I knew I didn't want to go too pink, so I did like corally pink like this, but then this one is also a little bit pinker, and they're actually on the same swatch. Let me actually show you what colors I ended up going with. We'll see if this will work. Okay, yeah. Okay, so here are my pink / corals. These were all on the same swatch. And then I wanted some blues. These two, even though they looked really different on the swatch, really didn't end up looking that different on the wall. I thought one was a little bit more blue and this one was a little bit more green, but that was okay. A little bit darker. And then I wanted a pop of dark color. So I really was only thinking one, but I loved both of these. So I went with this one that's a little bit more navy, and that one's a little bit brighter. And I use them both in the mural, and I love them both. And then the last thing, oh, hello, I had some tripod issues. So the last thing that I got was I knew I wanted a little bit of gold, which I'll show you in just a minute. But I just got this from Hobby Lobby, and it's a Modern Masters shimmer metallic paint, and they had several different choices. I'll have to, oh, pale gold. So they had like, I can't remember the other names, but they had several different gold options, but I went with the pale gold, and it looks like that. I was worried about this being too transparent, but it turned out really well. So once I got my paint, I decided to do a practice sheet. So I just found a piece of cardboard that I had. I think it was from an Amazon box, and I painted it the base color of my wall, and then I practiced with my colors. I think this helps you get an idea of what style you want, and you can see your actual colors together. Because sometimes they look different on swatches than when you actually paint them side by side. So after I practiced and I decided, yes, these are the colors that I want. I also originally had some yellows that I bought, and I did not end up using those because I don't know if you saw the yellows in the rug, but when I added the yellows, it went very like Eastery really quick. Instead of like being gold, it went really pastel. So I eliminated those before I did my practice sheet when I put the actual paint pots together. So setup for this, because I had so many colors, what I did is I had a paper plate for each color, and I set my paint pot on here, and then I had enough brushes for each one to have its own brush. But if you don't, that's okay. You can rinse brushes as you go, but I just had the paint pot setting on here, and then I had the paintbrush. But you can rinse in between. Also, I lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? Oh, So, I mean, I'm using my favorite Purdy brushes, but you can use any kind of brush. Like, it doesn't have to be a really like high quality brush for this, because you can see it's really rough brush strokes. And I actually used one of my rougher outdoor brushes for this because I needed enough for all the colors. So, so you could pick up some cheapo brushes if you wanted. It is a little bit easier if you have enough brushes, but you can do it with 2 brushes, 1 brush, it doesn't matter. And I use some of the 1 inch and some, this is 2 inch, yeah, brushes. It doesn't matter what size. So now I'm going to show you just kind of how I did the brush strokes. So at first, when I was doing the brush strokes, I did them different ways. So I had some going diagonal, I had some going up and down, but as the mural evolved, I decided that it looked more cohesive when they were all up and down. Not to say that if you did them side to side, I think that could work too. But for what I was doing, it just felt better up and down. Okay, so I'm going to use this medium blue because I think it'll show up pretty well. Okay, dipping it in. And then, and I actually started with the lighter colors on this, and then I worked my way up to the darker colors. So, and I like how, let's scoot this up a little bit. So I like how you can see the brush strokes. I did not want it to be solid. So some of them I brought down a little bit. It's almost, it kind of reminds me of like sound waves a little bit. Some of the sections I did a little bit bigger and some of them were smaller. I might add a little bit more to that one. Yeah, so that's kind of the basic shape that I did most of these. Started with, like I said, I started with the light colors first. So light pinks, light blues. Then I did my medium pinks and medium blues. I started and I would just kind of do random spots on the wall. So I would probably do like 3 or 4 of each color, like spread out, and then filled in as I go. So, and I did a lot of, and I don't know if you can see this in the time lapse, but I did a lot of like, I would step back and kind of see the big picture. Okay, do I need more of this, less of this? And then the last things that I did were the darker colors. And then the very last thing that I did was the gold. Another thing that I used on this, because it was a pretty fast mural. I don't even know how long it took me, but you can see in the time lapse that I have a blow dryer. So before I put the gold on, I wanted to make sure that the colors underneath for the gold were dry. The other colors, I didn't care. You can even see, like if you get close, where some of them have mixed where they weren't dry, and that did not bother me. But for the gold, I wanted that gold luster, that shine, and I didn't want the other paint to dull it. So I took a blow dryer and dried the other sections first. So that's pretty much it. I really think that this is a really easy project and that anyone can do it. So if you have any questions, you want to try this, let me know. Oh, I forgot one thing. This is Sherwin-Williams paint that you can get at Lowe's. If you go into at least our Sherwin-Williams here, you could not get paint pots. And I did all of this with paint pots and I really didn't even use that much of it. So you do not need a quart. Unless, even if you were doing a whole room, I think you could probably do paint pots, the sample pots with that. But you can get those at Lowe's. Make sure you ask for Sherwin-Williams because when I first got this, they mixed it with their brand and I had to go back because I just kind of love my Sherwin-Williams. So if you have any questions, let us know. We'd love to see if you try this out at home. It's super fun and easy to do. Hope y'all are well and we'll see you soon.